earlier on, Hernandez, when he pushed Kimmich over, Kimmich slipped and his foot went up and his boots hit his face, and he's made it out as if it was intentional.
Well, he's down here, I think. Or is it Pavard?
Pavard. Oh,
Anyway,
Raphael Varane.
anyway, welcome back to the Group Chat Waffle podcast, episode 10. But a little bit different because since it's the European Championships this month, for the next month, we're going to do matchday roundups of the games that took place in matchday 1 of Euro 2020. One game is currently still going on though, which is France versus Germany, and we are reacting to it as it goes on. I think Benjamin Pavard is just getting back up. It's in the 60th minute. But yeah, I am joined by Charlie.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about all the games that have gone on, maybe some other things that have happened over the past week or two. I don't know. Probably the past week. But anyway, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. We'll start with Group A, the opening night of the Euros. Italy, Turkey, two teams that we thought were going to be dark horses, two teams that we predicted to get to the semi-final. Do we look like idiots because Italy were rampant as they won 3-0 against the Turkish on Friday night with goals from Ciro Immobile, an own goal, and Lorenzo Insigne, which was a fabulous finish. Charlie, what were your thoughts on that game?
Well, I'd say mostly it was down to the fact that Turkey just committed mostly to just defending in the first half and then hitting Turkey on the counter, and then obviously I don't know what happened in the second half. Italy just came out and were just like, no, we're not having this, and just scored 3 goals and completely tore them apart.
I mean, I thought people have been very reactionary towards people who predicted that Turkey would do well this tournament, because I always thought Turkey would struggle in this game, simply because it's Italy. They can attack and they can defend. Like, Italy is literally known for defending, right? Giorgio
Yeah,
Chiellini was one of my man of the matches. Hit that tackle in the 90th minute. Oh, what a tackle to stop it making it 3-1, even though it would have made my prediction correct on the match predictor thing. But hey, anyway, I thought Italy were just very organised. They were very ruthless, and they were just so. The way they knocked the ball about was brilliant. I don't even think Turkey were that bad in the first half. I thought, they set up to defend because they knew of Italy's quality going forward. But I think I don't know. I think Italy just in the second half they changed a couple of things and they were a lot more expansive. They stopped going down the middle, and
yeah,
they started because that's what I felt. It felt very forced. I felt Ciro Immobile Ciro Immobile is always the focal point of the Italian attack, but I felt in the first half they kept trying to go they kept going down the centre too much, but in the second half we see them go a bit wide, play it across, and I think a prime example of this is Insigne's goal. I think
Insigne
someone
was amazing.
I thought he was good. First half he was great. He just couldn't finish. I mean, that was Italy's. That was Italy. That was basically Italy's story. That in the first half they couldn't finish, but second half they just got it spot on.
They definitely
Yeah, go on.
they definitely embraced the home advantage, didn't they?
Oh, definitely. I thought Turkey first half was great. It's what I was expecting of them. To be fair, for them to be organised and make it tough.
Mm-hmm.
Second half, it all just fell apart, and Burak Yilmaz should have really finished that chance in the 90th minute. But again, Italy's defence, poor. Even though I think they have a combined age of 70. The centre backs, Chiellini and Bonucci, they were brilliant. They were on top of their game. I can see Italy going very far in this tournament. I can even see them making. I can see them making the final. I think I've got them in the final in my prediction. So, yeah, I feel like my point was proved there about Italy. And for Turkey, no, but I think Turkey will get better against Wales and Switzerland. Was it
I still
Switzerland?
think
Yeah.
they'll get out. I reckon they'll still get out of the group. To be honest,
Yeah,
Turkey.
yeah. I think they'll get out of the group still. I expected them to lose to Italy simply because it's
Yeah,
Italy. But I don't think Italy, I don't think Turkey and and Turkish fans and the people who predicted Turkey to do well this tournament, people like me and you, I don't think we need to worry just yet. I think we need to see how they get on against. I think it's Wales next. Who, talking of them, were very lucky to
uh,
get a draw.
yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't actually. You'll have to like fill me in on what happened because I was at a seven side during this match, so I didn't actually see what happened.
Um, so I felt Wales at first they looked very good. They looked very good going forward. I thought defensively they looked all right. And then it all just sort of fell apart a bit, and Switzerland started to really dominate. But Switzerland just couldn't finish to save their life. Um,
Yeah,
and then in the second half, it really. Wait, I'm trying to remember this game right because it was honestly. Oh fuck. Hold on. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, what's happened? Because I'm behind.
oh, oh. Never mind.
But yeah. Anyway. Yeah. In the second half, it really started to blithen up a bit. Brill, Donald, and Bolo. Is it Brill, Donald, and Bolo? I know it's Brill and Bolo, but like. But yeah, Brill and Bolo scored for. Yeah, Brill, Donald, and Bolo. That's my FIFA 16 wonder kid right there. Anyway, he opened the scoring in the 49th minute for Switzerland. Switzerland were very much on top, but I said this in the preview that I like Kiefer more.
Yeah,
He got the equaliser after. Oh, what a finish! What a fit! Oh, it's offside.
yeah. That's why I said never mind.
Mbappe's just put the ball in the back of the net, but it's just been disallowed. Yeah, oh, that is well offside. Oh wait, was it? Wait, was it for offside on Griezmann? Yeah.
I think so. I've just got fucking Adam Smith in my. You know what? I've played too much FIFA to the point where every time a player's just offside, I've just got Adam Smith in my head going like, he's got the pace. He doesn't need to be that far offside.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about the Wales game. Yeah, after a brilliant cross, I believe it was from Daniel James. I don't know.
I think it was Dan Jones. A lot of people were talking about Dan Jones, so I assume
Dan
it
James
was
had a
him.
good game. He was looking to make stuff happen. He was one of my better players. Um, but yeah. Oh yeah, Joe Morrell. It was Joe Morrell from Luton Town. He put in a really good cross for Kiefer Moore to put the ball into the back of the net to get Wales off to a good start. I think they would have taken a point.
Two
Uh,
championship players.
yeah, exactly. Two championship players representing. But Kiefer Moore, I knew was a good player, and he was the danger man. He obviously missed a header in the first half, which was very unlucky. But I think Switzerland's keeper is Jan Sommer. Brilliant, made a few brilliant saves. Couldn't keep out that header though. But one man I really want to shine the light on is Danny Ward for Wales. Oh my god, without him, they could have got absolutely battered. Like, it could have been at least, I think Switzerland could have at least had 4 or 5 if it wasn't for him. I think
Yikes.
Wales defensively were pretty poor and they were bailed out so many times. Obviously bailed out by VAR as well after I think it was Petrovic for Switzerland who scored. He put the ball in the back of the net in like the 90th minute, I think, but it was disallowed. So yeah, I think Wales would have taken the point. I think it's a good point for them, and you never know. I can see them getting third. but I think Switzerland look really good. I think
They do.
if they just have more of a cutting edge, um, I think they can even finish second, Switzerland. But
I mean, we
yeah,
said it in the preview. It's all about those individual players, like Shaqiri and all those like players that are really talented and they've got like really good ability
and
that
they
could
got the
take them places.
experience, as well. Like, yeah. Okay, now on to Group B, and unfortunately, we have to talk about that Denmark Finland game because I mean,
Mm.
it did make headlines. It was absolutely tragic, and I hate talk, and I'm just got shivers talking about it still because it was very traumatic to watch. Um, Christian Eriksen collapsing on the pitch after what was confirmed to be a cardiac arrest. Uh, Obviously, my family and heart issues. It it hit me quite deeply. I was talking to my dad about it, and he was verge of tears because yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into it, but like it was just very traumatic to watch. I couldn't quite witness what I was watching, and firstly, I didn't want to watch it. It was something I didn't want to see, and that is something we will get onto. Uh, but yeah, just it was
I think in a way, it's sort of no matter what the result was going to be, like it could have been like 9-0 Denmark in the end or 9-0 Finland. That was just too much of an event to just take from the game because obviously I've already said that I wasn't present for the Wales game and I just about missed the first half of the Denmark game. But as I was leaving the pitch, like the Astro, the first thing I heard was, someone just said, someone was just walking past, someone I didn't know just went, Eriksen's collapsed. And so obviously I think, oh, he's just probably just injured or something. He's probably gone down for a bad tackle. And then we walk in, and obviously they've got a big screen in the bar area, and it's just, it's the cameras on the crowd, and they all look really, really like concerned. And it was
yeah,
just like, oh no, what's happened? And then I just see all the players around Eriksen, and like the minute is like what 48, I think, and they haven't actually confirmed added time. So I went, oh dear,
yeah.
that's not good.
I thought, oh god, my heart absolutely sank for him. I was absolutely shitting myself because, firstly, like, the margin between life and death when it comes to a cardiac arrest, especially on a football pitch, is fucking slim. Like, like we've heard stories over the years of people who've collapsed on pitches, especially in Preston. I think there's been about 2 people in Preston that have died from cardiac arrests from playing playing football. There's a lass in particular who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. But yeah, it I think it really emphasizes the sort of need for CPR training and how to manage cardiac arrests or situations like this when it happens in any sort of situation like a Sunday league game, or you're just walking somewhere and in the park someone's collapsed. Like, I think it really exemplifies the fact that everyone needs this basic training. I think everyone needs it because it can happen to anyone anytime, no matter how fit or unfit you are. Like, Christian Eriksen is a footballer. He's prime peak physical fitness, and it happened to him. We didn't expect it whatsoever, and I'm sure he wouldn't have expected it. But like, I think a lot more people need to get out there and train for CPR and all that, and it will be something I'm definitely will be considering in the future. I just want to talk about the coverage of it. It was. How would you sum it up?
Well, my first thought when I went in there immediately was why haven't they cut to the studio?
Exactly.
Because it's it clearly had been, because no added time was confirmed, and it was in like the 48th minute. So clearly he had been down for quite a while,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
cameras were still like, I think it focused on Eric, like Christensen, like proper breaking down for like at least 10 seconds, and
Exactly.
it's just like I get it. It makes for like, it's sort of it's obviously a director that's just got all focus on him. He's in tears. That'll make it for a good, like, just to shock value or something for like the audience. But it's like, it's just it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. Like, and like obviously the fans were visually traumatized, and you could see that.
Yeah. Oh God,
Oh,
Timo
oh Lineker,
Werner's on the pitch. Yeah, sorry, go on.
yeah, even Lineker. I mean, to be fair, obviously I'm not throwing any shade at anyone in particular at the moment, just because obviously I don't want to just randomly start throwing around accusations, because it is a very strong, subject that we're talking about. But like Lineker himself said that they had no control over what happened, so it's clearly some of the crew members behind the scenes that have allowed that to happen, which is unfortunate because
Yeah. I wanna. Uh, it was. I mean, for the BBC, I'm very disappointed. Uh, because they should have known better. Like, these are people who are held globally to a very high standard. So they should have really known what to do. But for some reason, we live in, like, I was watching the kickoff earlier. I think Adam McCall was saying how we live in this sort of TMZ sort of environment where people have got to sort of know what's going on, and we have to be there and record everything and that. Sort of be brave and sort of have like be sort of breaking in what we find and what we record, and like the BBC I just thought it was fucking disgusting. It wasn't something they should have done. I think it should have cut as soon as CPR was initiated and we knew what was going on. It should have cut to the studio. Danish TV cut away straight away as they knew what was happening. So good on them. Good on them for doing the right thing. What also didn't sit right with me was the BBC focusing on Eriksen's wife.
I
Obviously,
didn't see that.
it was actually okay. They didn't. I mean, they didn't directly do it. It was UEFA. Obviously, UEFA control the cameras. It's just how it works is basically the UEFA commission the camera work, and the BBC and all that have their own sort of production. That's why that's why we see different sort of things going on different sort of broadcasters and all that. But yeah, so that's why the Danish cut away and we didn't. For some reason, the BBC just decided to stick around and just record it. And yeah, I just thought it was incredibly insensitive, absolutely insensitive. And the people behind it. Firstly, you broke Ofcom rules, which is the codes of practice for broadcasting, for TV broadcasting. They broke one of the. I can't remember the section off my head, but it's about broadcasting traumatic moments and that could potentially be damaging to the viewer. Oh, Mbappe's in here, and it's a tackle, and it's no penalty. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, they broke that code, and they need to be punished for it because
Yeah,
that could leave a massive mark on so many people. It definitely left a mark on me, and it definitely left a mark on someone like my dad, who obviously suffers from these sort of problems. So yeah, it wasn't very nice to watch. Oh God, good from Gary Lineker to come out and apologise, even though he didn't have to because it wasn't his responsibility. But obviously, he would have to have said something because people were throwing blame directly onto him for some reason. So
mm.
yeah,
I think though, like, just one thing that I do want to say, like one like positive. I know it's like a very very touchy subject for a lot of people, because obviously, it's such a terrible thing to see. But like, I guess one thing you could say is that you can commend the medical staff. But I would say that's
the medical stuff. Yeah,
The
definitely.
only positive thing I've heard about anything from this is that Eriksen, is well, he's not made a full recovery, but he's getting better
Yeah, he's
because the
getting
medical
better. Yeah.
staff was so good.
Yeah, he posted an update today from his hospital bed with a picture of him with a thumbs up, saying he's okay, which is great, wonderful news. We wish him a speedy recovery. But I also want to talk about the medical staff. Brilliant. The Danish team, absolutely wonderful. Simon Kjær, the centre back, the captain, ran straight over to Eriksen, and opened up his airwaves, because obviously when you go down, you swallow your tongue, which blocks your airwaves, which decreases your chance of survival. So Simon Kjær running immediately to get him into the recovery position and to get his tongue out. Brilliant. Honestly, what a lifesaver. I also want to commend the Danish team for forming a human shield. I think then should have been the moment for the BBC to go, okay, this isn't something we should be recording, because they're trying to hide it. And
They're not just surrounding him for the fun of it.
yeah, exactly. They're not doing it for a joke and a laugh. Like, they don't want people to see this. This is why, and I think it's more backed up by the fact that Finland fans even gave them their flag to cover him up with. So the fans didn't see. Like, that should have been more of a sign. But for some reason, the BBC just kept going on, recorded his wife crying in this traumatic moment, and it's just not very lovely. It's just incredibly insensitive. I also want to shout out to Kasper Schmeichel. That man's seen a fucking lot. This guy doesn't catch a break.
Yeah,
The fact that he's still that, like, the fact that he's that so caring, just that much of a great character and caring character after what he's been through, really does really show what type of man he is. Like, obviously tragically lost his chairman at Leicester City, and obviously this happening to one of his closest teammates. And obviously he was there comforting Eriksen and Eriksen's wife. I just want to say what a hero he is for that. But all the Danish team are absolute heroes. We could also talk about how UEFA supposedly forced the Danish team to play on after a 3-0 forfeit was threatened, but that is something we're not going to get into. I'm going to talk about the game now. Obviously, when the game commenced after an hour or two, Finland won the game 1-0 after a goal from Pianapolo. I don't know how to say it. Poyamplo.
Their first win in the international tournament.
Yeah, it's their first win at an international tournament. Good goal, very scrappy. I think it was Finland's only shot. But class act for not celebrating, because obviously that would have been a bit tragic if he did, because obviously the circumstance.
It would have been in quite poor taste.
Very much in poor taste. Obviously, he could have celebrated. The fact that he could have celebrated because it's his country's first goal and first win of the of a major tournament. Obviously, life itself means a lot more than football in times like this. So obviously we wish Eriksen a speedy recovery, and we move on to Belgium-Russia. What a game this was. Like, I thought Russia didn't seem that bad for a little bit, but then Belgium really showed their class. Romelu Lukaku, what a player. Honestly, that man is stupendously underrated striker. People just remember his time at Man United and think what a poor striker he is, but that man's got everything to his game. I think he's going to have a cracking tournament. I think he's going to step up in the big games. So yeah, what did you make of Belgium's performance?
I think, in a way, you sort of expect it because you look at the caliber of the players that they have up front and what they can do. But like, it's one of those things that it's going to be good, but then you see it happen. Like you said, like Lukaku, obviously most of the time I've watched him is when he was in the Premier League and when he struggled. And
Wait, what's going on? Sorry, I'm behind, so let me know what's going on.
2-0.
Oh, really? Okay, let's have a look. We'll have a look once.
Karim Benzema.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so Karim Benzema's made it 2-0 France. I'm behind because I'm on iPlayer. Not iPlayer, ITV Hub
was a
and iPlayer.
was a very good counter.
And I will say, I will use this opportunity to say, fix your fucking services, iPlayer and ITV, BBC and ITV, because I don't like being like a minute behind everyone else. It doesn't make for good viewing, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm watching it just on my TV. Oh, hang on, they are doing a check. So while they do this VAR
Yeah,
check, I'll
that's a
just
good
say
counter attack. That is a
I
very
mean,
good counter attack. Mbappe's been very good in this game. I'll give that.
yeah,
I'll give him that.
it's allowed. It's been allowed. It's
Right.
2-0. Right. Anyway, so as I was saying, I mean, for me, like obviously, I know that they've got De Bruyne, Mertens, Lukaku, but like obviously, for me, Lukaku doing well. I know like his statistics in the Serie A this season have been very. Oh no, it's been disallowed.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, it looked like it was playing on.
Hold on.
The France players didn't protest, and I've got my sound off obviously because we're recording, so I just assumed that it was
I was
allowed.
gonna.
But no,
I mean, the fact the Germans were caught out that badly, I think, is a mad indicator that was offside, maybe. But I need to see this.
well, the thing is, the France players didn't protest that much, so I just assumed that it was all right.
Oh my! Oh
Poor
Christ!
Benzema.
Paul Benzema could have had his
Anyway,
first goal
I'll try
at the
again.
Euro.
Third time lucky. I've only seen Lukaku in the well. From what I remember of Lukaku, I've only really seen him at his days at Everton and Man United, and all I know is that he's obviously at Lukaku. At United, he's struggled a lot scoring, and people literally. I literally remember seeing a video on YouTube that was literally just titled "Lukaku, awful player," and it was literally just compilations of his misses. And obviously, he's gone to Serie A, he's gone to Inter, and he's had a great season under Conte. He's won the title, and he's clearly, by that performance, he's carried over that form into the internationals, which will be big for them.
Lukaku and confidence, man, it creates a different beast. It's just, I think Lukaku's just a clinical goal scorer. He's just ice cold, literally. I'd say, literally ice cold.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling Luke, who's also involved in the podcast, that Lukaku, like people will mock him for like his goal misses. It's like, oh yeah, but you really wouldn't want to come up against him if you're a defender. he's he's like a really tough. He's like one of those tough strikers, but it's worse. He's actually got speed and agility.
Yeah, he's got everything. I think he's the complete package. If I'm honest, I think his first touch got a lot of slack. It's improved massively. Like, I think Lukaku as a footballer since going to Inter, he's a different animal. He's an absolute beast. Like, he was a great player at Everton, a good player at Man United, but at Everton, Inter Milan, he's just a different beast. He's improved. He's improved his all-round play, and I mean, we're just seeing a very complete striker, one of the best strikers I probably might ever see. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Lukaku. Honestly, his performance was so good. Yeah. Anyway, Russia though. What did you make of them? I thought I thought they started off well, but turned out to be a very bang average performance.
I mean, I remember them in Russia, in their World Cup that they hosted. They were scoring worldies against teams
Yeah.
during that competition, and just to see them tonight like that, it was for me it was underwhelming because I guess because of that World Cup campaign I had higher expectations than I should have.
Yeah.
But like then again, it's just like you, it I don't want to say they were only good because they thrived off being the host nation, but it sort of felt like that when you see the performance last night.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't poor, like they weren't awful. Like they easily could have like just collapsed and conceded 5 goals because the caliber of Belgium's team. But it's just like it
Yeah.
just seemed pretty flat from them.
Yeah, they just seemed flat, and we predicted them not to do very well. Although it seemed like I was going to eat my words a bit because going forward in like the first 10, 15 minutes, they looked all right. I thought they were, I thought they were actually going to grab a goal, but I think Belgium really just grew into the game. They showed their class. But I will say one thing though: once this Belgian team comes up against pace, I think it will I think it'll be a lot tighter because that backline is not youthful. It's old. It's not very fast. It's not very mobile. So I'd say, like with how Belgium will change their game if they come up against a France, maybe an England, will be very interesting because that will really show the character and whether Belgium are serious about this tournament and getting a major tournament for their and getting a major tournament win for their golden generation. So yeah, I also want to just wish Timothy Castagne a speedy recovery after he suffered a double eye socket fracture, which is fucking nasty. So yeah, speedy recovery to him as well. Obviously, he had to go off in the first half. So yeah, speedy recovery. Group C, before we get onto the England game. Group C, Austria, North Macedonia, 3-1 win for Austria, who showed their class and showed why maybe some people should consider them a dark horse because they have some really good individual players. Marcel Sabitzer in particular. That ball for their first goal, wow, brilliant.
Yeah.
That was goal of the tournament until a certain someone scored. But yeah, I thought Austria were just cut above everyone else at North Macedonia, and well done to North Macedonia as well for scoring because I didn't expect it, and I thought we were maybe going to see a bit of an upset. But I thought Austria just grew into the game and showed their class and experience. And David Alaba, man of the match, what a player! That cross for the second goal again, wonderful. But I also want to just say, Marko Arnautovic, you're a fucking idiot for what you were doing after you scored. Just shut up, honestly. He was rambling on. He was allegedly racist. And I quote, he said, I effed your Albanian mother or something like that. And it was like, what's the point, mate? I know you're a bit of a shithouse, but Jesus Christ, mate. Now, onto the game of the tournament so far. The Netherlands and the Ukraine. Very interesting game, to say the least. Going into this tournament, I didn't particularly rate the Netherlands. And that is still the case. Because I think this game really proves they've got so many problems. I think going forward, they're absolutely fine. Defensively, they're shocking. So what do you... Just sum up. You give your verdict on this game.
I mean, one thing that I can definitely say is I was thoroughly impressed with the Ukraine keeper.
Oh.
Thoroughly impressed.
My man of the match until all that bollocks happened. First 50 minutes, he was brilliant. Absolutely solid.
Yeah, they just couldn't get past him.
He was very, very, very good. I will say also, I thought the Ukraine very organised in defence. I thought the defence was pretty good. I thought their midfield was decent. And going forward, you know what? I think we can't underestimate Ukraine. Because Yarmolenko, that man shows up for them. I will say, though, I don't know where my boy Viktor Sigankov was, who I predicted would have a pretty good tournament for Ukraine. He's a 23-year-old winger who plays for Dynamo Kiev. I don't know if he got on the pitch. I was watching, but I don't think he was even in the squad. So it makes me wonder.
What's his name again? Sorry.
Viktor Sigankov. So it's TSYGANKOV. Yeah. Is he even in the squad? He is in the Euro squad, I believe.
I don't think he was on the bench. I don't see him.
Yeah, I think he might have been injured or something, or just left out of the squad because obviously you can only name 23 people.
Yeah.
He is in the squad though, but yeah. He's
Yarmolenko had a worldie.
Yarmolenko. Oh, that goal! Okay, I say Austria had a good goal, but I think when I saw this, I thought this was goal of the tournament, and then something else happened. And then, yeah, I thought Austria going... not Austria, fucking hell. Ukraine going forward. Very good. Yarmolenko scored an absolute worldie. Curled it into the top left corner. On his left foot. He's got a really good left foot, Yarmolenko. He's a very good player, especially for Ukraine. He's always sort of stepped up for them at major tournaments, and I felt like it was kind of weird how he never got the Premier League move earlier in his career. But yeah, obviously 3-2 to the Netherlands, who won in the 85th minute. Though Ukraine showed some very good resilience, and Roman Yaremchuk, who made it 2-2 in the 79th minute, I thought he had a very good performance. So yeah, obviously the Netherlands went 1-0 up and then 2-0 up through a Gini Wijnaldum goal. I think Gini Wijnaldum made it 2-0, didn't he? No. Gini Wijnaldum made it 1-0 from a keeper mistake. Then Weghorst made it 2-0 after the Ukrainian defence just decided to fling the ball about 2 yards. And then obviously Andriy Yarmolenko scored that absolute worldie. Yaremchuk scored for Ukraine. And a really good ball for Memphis Depay managed to find Denzel Dumfries, who made it 3-2 to the Netherlands, who I don't know how they won that. Yeah, what are your sort of verdicts on?
I feel like the Netherlands. Maybe it's too early to call, but I feel like the Netherlands story this international tournament is going to be the attack bailing them out, because that defense does not give me confidence at all.
Yeah,
especially without Van Dijk. I feel like without.
I think with Matthijs de Ligt it'll improve slightly, because obviously he wasn't in the squad. But yeah, I think man of the match for this one was Denzel Dumfries, although he wasn't my man of the match. I thought man of the match was I'm gonna say Frankie de Jong. I thought he broke up the Ukrainian attacking play very well, and really got the Netherlands ticking and really pushed them forward. And I thought Frankie de Jong had a really good game. So he would have been my man of the match. I thought Memphis Depay was also pretty good, but yeah. He should have scored in like the first 10 minutes, so that run and nutmeg. Did you see that? Oh, filthy player. Anyway, on to Group D now. Shall we start with England or Scotland?
I think we saved the best till last, so we'll do England first.
Okay. England ran out 1-0 victors over Croatia in what was a very hard-fought game for the English. Yeah, Charlie, your thoughts?
Well, I remember us being very vibrant in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Foden hit the
post, yeah.
And then after that, it sort of quieted down. But then I noticed that we sort of, I don't know why we did this, but we sort of said, right, we've put them under 20 minutes of pressure. Let's just let them have the ball for a bit and sort of allow them to grow into the game a bit, which I didn't get. I thought it was a bit weird.
I thought Modric showed really good quality. You know, when you let Croatia off the ball like that, when they've got players like Kovacic, Modric, Perisic, who else? Anyone else with an itch at the end of their name?
Rakitic.
Yeah, I thought Modric was their best player. I thought he was really looking to make stuff happen, and obviously, I think it was someone said to me on Twitter. I think it was Aiden who said to me on Twitter, like Croatia are one good Modric ball away from the England defense just getting exposed and Croatia scoring, and I thought he was spot on because Modric seemed to have really controlled the midfield for a little bit.
He's like the puppet master of that team in that sense.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah,
when you take him out, they don't get into those areas that they do when they exposed England's defense. Like, well, I think the biggest thing for Croatia was that they probably didn't anticipate. Well, I didn't anticipate fucking Tyron Mings showing up.
yeah. Oh my god, bro! That lineup, that fucking lineup, man. I wanted to lose my fucking mind when I first saw it, but now in hindsight, I think Gareth Southgate's a fucking genius because yeah, let's say that people weren't happy with Kieran Trippier starting left back and Tyrone Mings starting and Raheem Sterling starting. We were all ready to eat our words. We all ate our words in the end. And,
I mean, to be quite honest, Sterling, yes, he did score a goal, but I will say that there are some scenarios where him being there sort of stopped us from scoring just because he makes good runs. Don't get me wrong, but he get into a good position and then just slow down and just panic and not know what to do with it. But there's so many times where he's got to the he's outpaced the Croatian defender. He's tried to like just sort of like cut inside and pass it, but because he takes so long, he's given the rest of the Croatian defense time to get back. So by the time they've got back, when he chips it over to for Kane to head it in, there's already like two Croatian midfielders already in front of him ready to head it away.
yeah, I will say with Raheem Sterling though, he does offer some unpredictability in his play, and what I will also say, someone made a great point. He makes very good runs in behind, and whether you give the ball to him or not, if you don't give the ball to him, he opens up space with his runs, and if you do get the ball to him, you're through on goal. Like I think Raheem Sterling makes some very good incisive runs that really did benefit us going forward.
He's one of those players that like defenders they'll look at, and even if he makes a fake run, they'll fall for it all the time because they think if that is a real run and I let him get away, there is a big chance I will not catch up.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
that's what I would be thinking if I was a Croatian defender. So that's probably that yeah. Again, that's what you were saying. I feel like he's despite like some of like some of his flaws in his game did show, but overall I'd say the goal definitely made up for it. But then also there's aspects to his like he's not a complete. I feel like sometimes when people criticize like England players, like they sort of just go overboard and just like completely just just say that they're a completely like basically redundant player. When realistically Sterling does have those qualities that help us out quite a bit.
I think we
there
give
is a lot to
yeah.
his game that isn't appreciated.
I think Sterling does have there is that tactical element to his game now that I see it. That makes me a little bit more. That makes me appreciate Sterling a lot more. We see it at City, so for some reason, England fans don't see it when it comes to England. Like they don't see his true quality. Okay, I wasn't a fan of him starting. Okay, but now that I look, but when I watched the game, I saw why he started. I was very critical of him at halftime. I thought he was very wasteful. I thought he was quite useless, and I just felt like he wasn't very threatening. But as soon as the game got on, he was starting to be a real thorn in their sides. And obviously, yeah,
Gareth has obviously told him at half time, I'm giving you this opportunity. Please take it. Don't just, don't just crumble.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, obviously his goal was very well taken, and obviously it was assisted by the Yorkshire Perlo. Honestly, that kid is wonderful. Calvin Phillips, what a game he had. Um, Not many people were expecting him to start, but he started, and I think he took the moment and actually showed everyone just what a quality player he is. He made so many people eat their words because so many people are so critical of him simply because he plays for Leeds. Like, I don't get it. So, what were how much did Calvin Phillips impress you?
He definitely ran the game. He was my man of the match personally. Just
Oh, yeah, yeah,
he was just very vital to sort of controlling, like dealing with. It was the perfect counterpart to like dealing with Modric.
yeah, yeah. I,
He was,
I think Rice and Phillips never really left his side.
yeah. I mean, I think it's because obviously Gareth Southgate's aware of what happened last time.
Yeah.
I mean, we played them all, since not even since the semi final where they beat us and ruined summer. They we play them twice in the Nations League.
Yeah, yeah, and we beat them both times.
Yeah, for me that just shows that like this side is like the side from 20. We're not the same side that we were in the World Cup. We're better. Like we're constantly changing and improving. I think by having like Rice and Phillips there, we've now got that. You know, we have what we lacked in that semi final, which was that
Yeah,
midfield like opposition to Modric, which closes him off and stops him like completing that one ball away from scoring against our defence. And Phillips, for me, is definitely a player that's impressed me just purely because me being him being one of our promotion rivals a couple of years ago, and now just seeing him like on an international tournament, I think it just shows like how much like of an improvement he's had under Bielsa.
yeah.
And
I've,
I was just going to get onto it just when you were talking about Sterling. I feel like us and the Premier League having these like really well, you know, experienced managers like Pep Guardiola and Bielsa in the Premier League managing these England players and helping them improve. It's really boosted, like not to take away from Southgate, but it's definitely added to their game. Like
mhm,
Phil Foden, like Pep Guardiola nurturing Foden's talent is why he's in this side.
exactly.
Without
Yeah.
him, we went in the same way that Sterling's improved us, but Sterling is more than twice the player he was at Liverpool.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think I was okay. You made a very good point there about the Premier League managers, and I will give Gareth Southgate credit because I very much doubted him going into this tournament whether he would manage this very well, and actually whether he was actually competent enough to manage this team. Um,
Mm,
I mean, there are a few questions, but I feel a lot more confident with him now because I feel like he got that game spot on. He knew what to do. He knew what needed to be done, and he knew what had to be done. And obviously, I think his game management was very good. It seemed like we did have a plan B. It seemed like we did
yeah,
have ideas. I think it's more of I think it's a credit of how he's developed as a manager. So I'm a lot more confident with Southgate, although I will question him and I will judge him if when we want once we play like the sort of bigger teams, the Frances, the Germanys, them teams, because I want to see how he gets on against them. Uh, but I was very much impressed by Southgate's managerial performance. I was very impressed by Calvin Phillips' performance, Tyrone Mings. I thought most of the England players played well. I think the only one I really didn't like was Kyle Walker. I felt defensively he grew into the game, but some of his passing and just on the ball he was awful. But
he
defensively he was good. I
seemed
will give him that.
unnerved.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't know. He just didn't seem like he had this sense of occasion, this sort of sense of urgency about him, and he just seems like he was. I mean, yeah, it's good to be a cool man in heated situations, but he just felt like he was very unfazed. Just I don't know. He frustrated me at times, and yeah, I think Yeah, I think defensively he was good though. I think there was obviously an opportunity for Croatia where he stepped in front of his man and allowed Pickford just to collect the ball. Obviously, if he didn't do that, they would have scored
Mm.
most likely. Or Pickford would have made a very it would have been a very bad thing for Pickford. It would have been very difficult for him to make a save. So yeah, he was he was good defensively, but just on the ball he wasn't very good.
Well, when he stepped in front of him, it was sort of shaky. Carl Walker, I feel like the whole game he was quite like mediocre, but in that moment, it's sort of like he got it just right because you could easily step in front of him, take a terrible like touch, and then it goes in the back of your own net, and
Yeah,
it's an
and
own
not
goal.
only that, he could the Croatian player could have easily made a meal out of it and pleaded for a penalty. And obviously,
Yeah,
remember the last opening game Kyle Walker played in where he stepped in front of his man and put his arms out. He twatted one in the face and gave away a penalty. So well done on your improvement there, Kyle Walker. Just
when was this?
Tunisia, he gave away the penalty.
I thought that was Lingard.
No, it was Kyle Walker. Like he put his arms out and he
Oh,
twatted
because
one of the.
he was pointing, wasn't he? He was still like look. He was pointing to one of his I can't remember what England player was. He was saying like, look, mark that player or something, and then the player just walked into his arm, and obviously he's turned around and gone, "What the fuck? What are you
Yeah,
doing there?"
yeah.
I mean, I think those scenarios are sort of unfair because he clearly. I mean, that was VAR at its earliest,
Yeah.
but I will say actually this tournament VAR has overall been not, like quite bearable.
Yeah. It's been very good so far. VAR. I think VAR I think at major tournaments so far that we've seen has been very good. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that as an England fan because we get loads of fucking penalties from it. It's been very good. I think the referees letting the game roll on and not letting VAR dictate too much of the game has been has meant the games are managed so much better, and they keep that tempo to it. So yeah, I've been impressed by VAR this tournament so far. So yeah, moving on to Scotland now. We could literally just do 5 minutes of laughing, but
Mm.
I will give the Scots some credit. They weren't actually that bad. I think going forward, they look pretty good. Um, Defensively, they're a bit
I
shaky.
I can't really say that with a straight face because all I could think of is Lyndon Dykes.
Lyndon Dykes, man, how's he, man? I mean, I think holding up the ball, he's pretty. I thought Scotland are taking him simply because he can hold up the ball, not because he's a finisher and he can play. Players can play off him, but he couldn't even do that right. Um, I'm looking at the stats. Like they had so many shots, Scotland, but they just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And the Czech Republic keeper, whoa, what a performance! Vlasic, I think. Oh, but yeah, I will be fair to Scotland. Going forward, they look pretty good. They've got Lyndon Dykes up front though, and I'm not concerned about him on Friday, but I am concerned about Scotland going forward as an attacking unit. I think they look pretty good, so I mean I am concerned about that.
Well, they conceded two shit goals, didn't they?
Yeah, talking of Schick goals, Patrick
Yeah.
Schick. Honestly, man, I think you've won permission of every Englishman to go into their homes and shag their wives after that performance. Because honestly, I take my fucking hat off to you because I mean the first goal was pretty good, very good header, beating two Scottish defenders in the air, and the second goal, wow, I went fucking mental. How did you react?
I saw it and I was just like, wow.
I was,
I'm disappointed in the commentary, I will say, but
yeah, I
but other
took,
than that,
yeah.
it was a nice goal.
It was a very nice goal. The fact he saw the keeper off his line and just had the audacity just to dip him from there is is bold stuff. I was impressed by Thomas Souček and Kafal, the West Ham boys. I thought they were pretty good, but more importantly, Patrick Schick. What a player! I mean, I knew he was a good player, but like that good. Also, yeah, but like I'm guessing this is what being a Willany lookalike does to our man. They make him generational ballers. So yeah, well done, Patrick Schick, for upsetting the Scottish. Hopefully you don't do it to us though. I am quite scared of you, to be fair. So yeah, moving on to Group E, Poland, Slovakia.
Yep,
Did you watch that game?
I did. I was disappointed to see who was in goal. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh,
because
was it not Marek Rodak? It was Dubravka.
Dubravka. Yeah.
Dubravka, yeah. Oh yeah, Rodak was on the bench.
Don't get me wrong. I like Dubravka's a good keeper, but Rodak. Come on.
Yeah.
He like, I'm not just saying this as a Fulham fan. I'm literally just saying this based on their qualifiers. He was their hero in the penalty shootout.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah.
understand like what he did wrong there. But I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter in the end because Slovakia do very well. I think it's more of a testament to Poland that they are very reliant on Lewandowski, which obviously is understandable because he's one of the best strikers in Europe. But I wouldn't hold this game against Lewandowski himself. I would just hold it against the fact that he's so relied upon that, like,
It's a poor team around him. It's a
and even then,
very
like,
poor team.
even then, you'd think, okay, they're literally relying on Lewandowski. Maybe they'll pass to him a bit more, but they don't. It's like he's there, and he's just like, he's like, I'm the
Who's
top
just
scorer.
vibing?
I broke the Bundesliga record this season, and last year I was the top scorer in the Champions League, and you're smashing it, and it's clearly not going to go in. So, like, if I was Lewandowski, I mean, I would be annoyed, but at the same time, I'd understand like why you're relied upon so much. But it is unfortunate that he's in a team that's just, it's sort of like the Messi scenario where like he's a very good player, but unfortunately he doesn't have the team backing him to do well on the international stage.
If I'm correct, according to Google, Piotr Zielinski, who's a very good creative midfielder, was up front. Why aren't you putting him in midfield in his best position, where he could easily just supply Lewandowski? I don't know. Jozwiak, I think one of the commentators said he was their best player and was like, he was getting pocketed. I thought this Poland team really doesn't impress me. It's a very poor team. I think Krychowiak obviously got sent off as well. Oh God, I didn't realize.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. I mean, I watched it in bits. If I'm honest, I was very busy. But yeah, Poland's team doesn't impress me. Obviously, Szczesny got an own goal.
Isn't he the first?
The
Isn't it?
first goalkeeper to score an own goal at a European final, at European Championship finals. Obviously, the score was 2-1 to Slovakia. I want to get on to Slovakia now. I just want to say how good Duda is. Duda, he's a midfielder starting up front, and that man was absolutely everywhere. Man, I thought he was in my kitchen at one point. Like that, when I tuned back in, he just made a really good slide tackle on Jozwiak, and I'm just there thinking, Jesus Christ, this man's everywhere. He didn't score, I don't think. No, it was an own goal. Mac, I think it might have been Robert Mack who, I think who put it in. Who made Szczesny unfortunately concede an own goal. But yeah, I thought Slovakia were very good defense. I thought they look very organised. They look very good going forward. They look very expansive. I like the look of Slovakia.
I do. It's always for me like it's always nice to see like different international teams just like go on a little like run of form.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the international stage is in sort of a way the best like form of football in terms of just like unexpected teams like going for it because all the good players. It's not like club football where all the good players are together in like these like you know already self-established like high up clubs, they're all separated now and they're all in their own nations.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now it's like, okay, you've shown you're a good player and you can win Champions Leagues and league titles, but can you do it in a team of players that are maybe not so good? And Slovakia obviously at that side that's showing that like they have the odd good player in their team,
Yeah,
but
Marek
like
Yeah.
they can still do it. They can still get wins, and they done that
One,
against Poland. I'm
yeah.
thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, one of their more high-profile players, Milan Skriniar. What a finish! Oh, what a hit! That was a very good goal, very well taken to make it 2-1, and to secure your team's first ever win at a European first ever major tournament win. Actually,
Yeah,
good
good on them.
good on them. I think it was their first ever win. Surely, I think so. Anyway,
Yeah, I remember hearing something about that. A lot
yeah,
of that's a common theme actually. I'd say in this year's tournament, there's a lot of first timers. Like
yeah.
there's a like Finland's got their first win. Slovakia, as far as I know, has got their first win, and obviously Chesney's the first to concede an own goalkeeper to concede an own goal. It's a tournament that's like sort of springing us with surprises. Hopefully, at the end of the line,
Yeah.
there is a big surprise that's coming, and it's pretty good. I hope, and I hope it's. I'm not gonna say what it is because then I'll just get like a load of Scottish and Welsh fans screaming at me. But I hope
Yeah.
that's. I hope that's where it's going. But that's my biased view. But
Another
overall,
another first was England winning their first ever opening game at
oh
European
yeah, of
Championship.
course.
Yeah. So yeah, good on the England boys to break that duck. I think it shows a lot of character where England's going at the moment. But yeah, moving on to Spain and Sweden. What an incredibly dull game that was. Fucking hell. I thought Alexander Isak was very good for Sweden. There was that point where there was that chance where he took on about 3 players, squared it across, and his teammate fluffed it. And it was just like, mate, you could have easily just put 1-0 up and had an absolute shithouse win on the cards, but it wasn't to be. Spain, though, I thought Sweden showed them a bit too much respect. He just sort of sat back, soaked up all the pressure Spain were giving them, and I think they really flattered Spain a bit. I will say though, Spain do have some really good individual players. Like I was impressed by Pedri. I thought Pedri
Hmm.
was so good. He really impressed me. Some of the balls he was putting in behind for Jordi Alba. I thought Jordi Alba was very good as well. Yeah. So hold on, they made 5 substitutions.
I
You
guess that's allowed at this tournament. They're
I
carrying that over. I mean, the 5 sub rule was in the Champions League's campaign, wasn't it?
think so. Yeah, but yeah, I think so. But yeah, I thought, I thought Pedri and Jordi Alba were really making things happen for Spain. I want to just say, Alvaro Morata, you're not changing anyone's mind on what they think of you as a striker. How do you go from Fernando Torres, David Villa, Diego Costa to Alvaro Morata? How does that decline is
Yeah, it's quite.
stupendous. It's
It's a shame, really.
But I thought Spain going forward, they look threatening, but they just don't have goals in them. I think Gerard Moreno is their most clinical striker. He scored 30 odd goals this season, so they need to start. I think they need to start him next game. But yeah, Sweden, I thought were very organised. They knew what they had to do. They had a game plan. They frustrated Spain, and I thought it was an overall very good defensive performance. Alexander Isak impressed me for them. Victor Lindelof is also very good, and Ruben Olsen made some fantastic saves for Sweden. Are Spain going to do anything this tournament? What do you think?
No.
Simple as that, really.
I don't know. It's one of those teams that they just don't have enough. Really, they had the quality once upon a time, but now it's slowly faded away, and they've still got the remnants of it, but they just haven't got that. They haven't got like it's like with England, where like we've had Lampard and Wayne Rooney and Gerrard, and now we've then replaced that with Grealish, Foden, Kane. Whereas Spain, they haven't really managed to do that yet. They're sort of in that territory of these players are gone. Now we've got to work with what we have, and then hopefully somewhere down the line nurture the players that are upcoming, and then build a really good team.
Yeah, I thought.
Because they've got Thiago. Like Thiago is not a
Yeah,
bad player whatsoever. He's had a difficult season, yeah, but I feel like that's natural for any player that comes from a different league and comes to the Premier League. Any player struggles in the Premier League just because no one's ready for it because it's so different to every other league. But I feel like under Liverpool, he's obviously he's struggled, but he's probably got that confidence to carry on with Spain, see how far he goes, and then go back to Liverpool again next season and have a really good campaign. But like as of now, I'd say he's in a period where he's not in his best form, but he's not terrible either. He's
yeah.
just in a Spain side that's sort of in the middle of it, in the middle of a transition, I'd say.
It pains me knowing that Thiago will probably not get an international trophy for Spain, considering he could have gone to somewhere like Euro 2012, but it's just not meant to be for some players. Oh God,
Yeah,
it pains me knowing he's probably not going to get an international trophy because he's so good and always been an elegant player throughout his career. Anyway, I want to. We're going to move on to today's games. I really want to talk about Hungary Portugal after what happened.
Well, you could talk about Ronaldo having the best 90 minutes of his life. So get onto that.
Hold on a sec. Happy's calling me. Okay, we're back. Hungary Portugal. Ronaldo. How do you keep doing that? How do you keep like scraping PR and glory every fucking time you have a bad game? Like, if Hungary's goal was just allowed, maybe we wouldn't be saying this, but honestly, I just wasn't impressed by Portugal. It's another one of them. Like, going forward, I thought they looked great, but I thought defensively they could get exploited a bit, and that was proven by the fact Hungary got a goal, but it was disallowed. I think the referee should have let stood for banter because it would have been funny. Charlie, you there?
Yes.
All right, brilliant. Because the silence just made me worried.
I'm listening.
Oh, you're a good listener then. Oh God. Yeah, and then I don't want to talk about it. Obviously, I predicted a 1-0, and as soon as I said that in the chat, because ITV was behind, Jem said, Jack, I don't think it's 1-0 anymore, and I was just thinking, why? Because there's a penalty be given. So I had to refresh ITV Hub, and I saw that Ronaldo was taking a penalty. Lo and behold, I was making Penaldo jokes. Ronaldo, you can't ghost the entire game and take the penalty for all the glory and PR. And it was a video of the guy from EastEnders saying, "We're gonna do it anyway." Did he score?
How many likes is that on now?
It's on 377 likes.
I'm not gonna lie. I was talking to a friend who's Portuguese, and he was very frustrated with Jota.
Oh yeah. I don't think he was very good.
Yeah, he had a very poor first half, to be honest. And then, who was it that scored the first goal? Was it
Guerrero? I don't know.
Guerrero, the Dortmund player.
Yeah, just call him Raphael.
Yeah, he scored, and then I was watching it and then I messaged him saying, watch Ronaldo score next," and then all I heard was the commentator say, "Penalty Portugal." Laughed.
Very, because I knew what was going to happen. Everyone knows what's going to happen next, and then I refreshed Twitter. Ronaldo's trending. Shame on you. Shame on you. Ronaldo is the first thing that comes up on my search bar.
Yeah, we were making Penaldo jokes, obviously. My favourite meme is the Christopher Penaldus one.
Mm.
Discovering new nations every international break. I mean, I thought Portugal were bound to score, but because they look good going forward, I was just hoping it stayed 1-0 simply because of my match predictor. But Ronaldo scored twice in 5 minutes to make it 3-0. So that fucked my prediction up. Anyway, so yeah, congratulations to Ronaldo for obviously being the first player to score in 10 major tournaments. Is it that? Or something like he broke a ridiculous record.
Yeah, he's the first to score in 6 Euros, I think, 5 or 6 Euros tournaments.
2004, 2006, 2012, 2016, 2000. Yeah, it would have been 5. Yeah, 5.
5.
Yeah, 5 European championships. So congratulations to him. You truly are one of the best. I will take my bitter pill and swallow it because that tweet was funny and I mean I'm a visionary. What can I say?
Mm,
Ah,
yes.
Hungary unlucky. I think they could. I think they made it tough for Portugal, but Portugal's quality really did help them out in the end. Okay. Yep. Go on.
That group. I'm gonna like. We all knew it was gonna be entertaining, but it's like it's very like hard to see who would come out of it because I'm just thinking, Germany could turn up against Portugal, Portugal could turn up against France, France could not turn up against Hungary. There's so much unpredictability in this tournament right now. It's sort of giving me memories of the 2018 World Cup where remember when Korea knocked out
Germany.
they didn't yeah, they knocked out Germany in the group stage, and then you've got obviously Brazil crashing out, and then also Argentina also crashing out, and Portugal as well, and Spain. It's sort of I feel like that's what the tournament was sort of into again. We're sort of going that direction of this will be the first team to do this will be the first team to do that, and today I think that showed Portugal really struggled against Hungary. They only scored at the end, I think, because Hungary just gave up.
I think the scoreline flatters them a little bit.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it was not a 3-0 game to me. It was a 1-0 because if anything, just because Hungary really, really pushed them until the very, I'd say the last 15 minutes, and that's when Portugal just finally went, you know what, let's just finish this off, and then scored 3 goals.
Yeah. Anyway, you were talking about France. Let's move on to them. We are talking about France versus Germany, which is obviously just finished about half an hour ago, maybe. I don't know how long ago, I forgot. But anyway, France ran out 1-0 victors over the Germans in Munich. A very good performance by Kylian Mbappe, I must say. I thought he looked very good and sharp. Obviously, the goal was an own goal from Mats Hummels in the first half. Germany, man, they don't impress me whatsoever. Like I said before the tournament, this squad doesn't interest me or fucking get me hyped because it's so painfully average. I mean, they've still got some star quality players in there like Kai Havertz, Joshua Kimmich, Serge Gnabry, Thomas Muller. They got those players, Leon Goretzka. But they don't. Apart from that, they just. I don't know what to really think of them. Shit. I mean, today they were all over the place. I mean, they could have had a few goals, but they didn't really. I mean, they dominated statistically. Apparently, looking at this, but I think France were just a little bit more pragmatic in their approach to this game than they were looking to break Germany on the counter. Which did succeed, but it was disallowed, obviously, as we reacted live to that. But yeah, I thought France looked good. Very organized, very well drilled. Obviously, this wasn't the most expansive they played, but they played in a very structured way, which doesn't really allow for expansiveness. But yeah, I thought Germany. They were happy to let Germany have the ball because they knew Germany weren't going to create. They weren't going to create the quality of chances, and that is backed up by the fact only one shot on target for both teams. Firstly, one shot on target for the Germans.
Mhm.
I think there is but I will say, I think there is a lot more to come out of this German side. It wasn't the most entertaining game, but hey, I think we'll see these teams liven up a bit. I think I can see Germany and Portugal being a very close game, and I also can see France and Hungary being a very close game. So Group F is looking to be a very interesting group. So yeah, what did you make of Germany on their performance?
It was, to be honest, it was kind of what I expected. You know, it's a side that's aging. It's a side that's losing their manager at the end of the tournament, and it's sort of one of those things where can it go two ways? It can even go, you know, this guy, you know, led us through the thick and thin. Let's give him the tournament of his life, or it's just he's leaving. So either way, it doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
that sort of, I feel like Joachim Löw's departure could sort of like in the camp it might unsettle things because they know that they're at the end of the season they're getting a new manager and there's a lot of uncertainty. Like especially for the older players, they don't know this new guy that's coming in. You know,
Hansi Flick.
Hansi Flick. You know, he's led a Bayern side that's like it's been very successful. So that's a lot of pressure on them, and also it's sort of like where does he want to take the international team? Is he going to be a Southgate where he's sort of going to see that the older players he's going to slowly phase them out and then bring in a new generation? Like because obviously Germany's under 21s or under 18s have been very successful
Under
recently.
21s have won the under 21 Euros. They got Lucas Nemecha, by the way, former North End loanee. What a player! I knew he was going to become a very good player. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, I feel like you know the players like Kroos and like Neuer. That for them, they sort of know that their time on the international stage is like their performances whilst being very good. They're going to know that like eventually they're going to be replaced with these new young players that are coming through the ranks and you know winning tournaments. So, and for them, it was always going to be a challenge. They're coming up against the champions of the world.
Yeah,
and France is they're 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 quite the team.
they're very complete.
They are probably they are the most complete team in the world. They've got their sorts of they're what Belgium aren't. They're very good in attack and very good in defense and very good in midfield. They've got Pogba, Kante, Varane, Mbappe, Benzema,
Not only that,
Lloris.
they've got depth in all those positions. They've got depth in every position. It's frightening.
It's like Lloris is injured, Areola. Oh, what's that? Varane's injured, Kimpembe, Mbappe's injured. Oh, never mind. Benzema, Griezmann.
Benzema, Griezmann, Giroud as well. Like
Giroud.
Giroud's very, very good for France. I think France are a very complete team. I think they'll get out of this group. Germany, though, I don't know. After that performance, I think they could maybe get out of this group. I think they could take second because I don't think it was bad. I just think it was a bit. How do I say this? Average to sort of good performance. Like I think they created some good chances, but I think there's still a lot more to come out of them.
If we're looking at it from a German perspective, if you're a German player or a German fan, you're going to be looking at that thinking, we played the World Cup holders. They absolutely thrashed us, our defence, and completely tried to like break through. And the only time we scored was an own goal. That's what I'd be looking at. If it wasn't for Hummel's mistake, that could have been a draw easily, a 0-0, and then Germany get a point.
So it's not that bad of an opening game, but still, it's sort of like okay, you've played them, you've lost. How are you going to cope with the other two, Portugal and Hungary? And obviously, Hungary today showed that they're not going to just step down. They're not just going to let themselves be, butchered. They're going to go for it. And
I thought there are a few positives the Germans could take out of this, but I could definitely see them giving Portugal a game. I think that will be a very close game. I actually maybe even think Germany could win it. I don't know if that's just me being biased because obviously I've got German heritage and I want Germany to do well. I'm an Englishman who wants Germany to do well. Sue me, but like I've got German blood, so yeah. Anyway, I think there's a lot more to come from Germany. I thought France though, good victory. It's what you need. You need a bit of luck on the international stage, especially in your opening game. You do need that luck to get off to a good start to sort of lift the weight off your shoulders. Good victory for France. Germany though, there's still a lot more to come from them though. I will say that I think it was a sort of promising, a sort of dismal performance. I think there's promising signs, just not. I don't know, just very flat in a way. Anyway, we'll move on to our sort of preview for England Scotland. If you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about that.
Oh my god, the way you said yeah, then. Oh my god.
What?
I don't know. It cut out. See, it just went yeah.
Yeah. So as you can tell, I'm audibly excited about that game.
I'm shitting it, mate.
I'm just intrigued to see what we do because it for me is a testament to what kind of team we are. If we beat Scotland convincingly, then it shows that we're not just here to mess about. We are here to we mean business. If we struggle against them, and they will give us a game.
I thought,
Who knows?
yeah. I think it will be a tight game because I think, like I said, Scotland going forward, they look all right, and we could struggle if we don't set the team up right. I think we need to match them in terms of enthusiasm, in terms of energy, in terms of wanting it. If we can match them for that, I think we'll be all right. I think Jack Grealish needs to start. Although he was an unused sub, I think he needs to start this game. I think he sort of needs this sort of gas going moment. But not only that, I think Scotland, they're going to be very physical. They're going to be very aggressive. And I think Jack Grealish is tailored for a game like that. I think he's tailored for these sort of games, these sort of big, intense moments where anything can happen and you need that little bit of quality and magic. And you also need someone who's going to wind them up and to the point where they're going to start fouling you. Jack Grealish wins fouls because he's a very good player, very magical player, and not only that, he's a shithouse. Like, he winds people up. Like, we need him to start on Friday, and hope that we get this sort of aggressiveness and sort of physicality out of the Scottish to the point where they get frustrated and they start to let it out and they start to cane our players because, like, first it'll win us fouls. It won't be great if they injure our players, but like it'll win us fouls, which gives us chances of set pieces and more chances of a goal. I think we'll beat Scotland though. I think there's no point in being an England fan if you don't have optimism. I think we'll beat them. Okay, I'm going to make a prediction right now. 3-0.
3-0 England.
3-0 England. I think it'll be tough, but I think we get an early goal and then the floodgates open. I think then Scotland become very desperate and then that leaves them open for us to exploit. Saying that, I'm actually going to go 4-0 England.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-0. I think Kane will bag 2. Go on.
I mean, the last time Marshall faced him, Kane got an hat-trick. That
Yeah.
was when Marshall was at Hull.
Oh yeah.
Is he? I'm not sure where he is now.
He's David Marshall. I think he's at Derby.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
I want your prediction. Go on, be bold, be brave.
6-1.
Really? Oh, that's big. You think 6-1 Scotland?
I reckon the Scotland goal will probably no. England are thrashing Scotland. I don't. That Czech Republic performance was really poor, and we will concede. I think we'll concede one, but I think that will purely just come from the fact, when teams do this, they'll score a load of goals and then they'll become very complacent.
They take the foot off the gas, sort of thing. Yeah, it'll be a
in the defence.
consolation.
There'll be a consolation, but yeah, no, 6-1. I reckon it'll be another. It's not going to be another Panama where we just literally just keep going at it and just scoring and scoring.
Just
and
take
scoring.
the absolute piss. Yeah.
No, but I do think it will be one of those games where we'll see an opportunity to up the goal difference and be like, yeah, let's just get this win.
Brave.
And,
I like it.
yeah, 6-1.
You're going 6-1. Yeah, I'm going 4-0. Yeah, I'm Kane to bag a brace, Jack Grealish, and go on. I'm going to predict Calvin Phillips. No, John Stones. I'm going to go John Stones. Really, Rashford? Maybe. I'm going to go John Stones though. I don't know why. I just think I think from corners will be so good. I mean, Scotland have the height, but I think we just have the quality. But I don't want to underestimate the Scottish though. But I'm underestimating them because I'm an England fan. This is purely England fan me talking. This is not football head me. This is not the optimist. This is not the realist me. This is purely football. This is purely England fan Jack talking. Realist me thinks 2-0 England, but England fan me thinks 4-0. So I'm going for. I'm sticking with the 4-0.
Yep.
Charlie, however, he's going very ambitious and bold with a 6-1 England win. Fucking hell, though. Anyway, I think this is a good time to wrap up the podcast. Anything you want to say beforehand?
I think matchday 1 has been a very good. It's been a very good introduction to international football, and it's really shown what we've missed over the past year.
Yeah,
and it's sort of, for me, it's also football side. It's shown the world sort of coming back. Well, we're getting back to where we were before, and fans are in the stadiums. In the stadiums.
The 60k Hungary fans in the stadium today, absolutely brilliant. What a sight!
Yeah, I'm loving the tournament so far, and I think it's definitely one of those ones where you anticipate it to be good and it delivers. It's not been one of those tournaments where it's been overhyped. I've really enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, I think it's been a great advert for for international football. So long may it continue, and hopefully we batter the Scottish on Friday and qualify for the next round of the Euro 2020, where hopefully England's journey for it to come home, for football to come home, is fulfilled. So yeah, have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your tournament. Have a great rest of your, I don't fucking know, week, day, life. Yeah. If you're an England fan, come on, it's fucking coming home, boys. I'm telling you now. And if you're Scottish, good luck. No, I genuinely mean that, by the way. Not as in a good luck, you'll need it sort of thing, but good luck for the game on Friday. And if you want to leave us any of your thoughts, leave them down in the comments below. And if you're that's on YouTube, that is. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
cry about it.
Cry about it because you can't comment, or get in touch with us on at TGC Waffle Pod on Twitter. So yeah, thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of your day, week, and hopefully England batter Scotland on Friday. We'll see you next week for a roundup of matchday 2. See ya.